sweetie pie, and welcome back to my channel. If you saw my get ready with me, I did this look today using some of the Juvia's Place shadows. That is what we are talking about today. I'm so excited because I love her eyeshadows. They're freaking so awesome. But I do have some like pros and cons and all that good stuff, and we are going to be looking at 5 of them. So the 5 palettes that I have are the Zulu palette, and it looks like this. There is the Saharan 2 palette that looks like this. Then there is the Nubian 2, and it is this one. There is the Masquerade mini palette, and I don't think they sell the full size anymore, if I'm not mistaken. That is the Masquerade palette. This was like their oh my god palette. When this came out, it was like, it was on. And then this is a palette that they actually don't sell anymore. They are selling it in a mini size, but I got it when it first came out. I did do a review on it, and this was a very expensive palette for me. For a Canadian, these palettes aren't cheap. So these were actually $35. They're larger sizes. The rest of these are $25. So in Canadian, they're still about $35, and this baby, like crossing the border and everything, it was almost $85. These ones got away without having any problems with customs, and I actually got them in a Christmas set, so it was all 4 of these palettes. So the first one I got was the Magic palette, and then all of these 4 palettes I got at Christmas this year. And I've done some swatches on Instagram and stuff, but I haven't really done like a review on all of the palettes. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna do full swatches. I'm gonna go outside probably. I'm gonna see the best lighting to do these swatches in, because I want them to be like beautiful. I love swatches, maybe not for seeing what these shadows can do per se, but I love to look at them, and I love to be able to know, like, what shades I'm getting. Anyways, we all watch swatches, and I think some of us have a true love for them, and I just do. I am going to also talk about each individual palette and what I think of it, and then I'm going to kind of combine them at the end a little bit and just talk about what I think of them in a whole, having all of the palettes. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, then do not forget to stay tuned and subscribe to my channel. That is so important. YouTube is unsubscribing because I lost a few subscribers, like, really quickly, and I was like, darn, either people really don't like me or YouTube is doing something. Anyways, so subscribe and always click that bell if you really enjoy these videos and you want to see some more on my face. And yeah, let's get into this video because I'm super excited about the swatches especially. I really love swatches. Alright guys, so the first palette I'm going to talk about is the one I got first. This is the Magic palette. I'm going to insert the swatches after I talk about it a little bit, and that's what I'll do for every palette. So this was the very first palette I had gotten from Juvia's Place, and because I paid $85 for it, there was some disappointments, because I just feel like no eyeshadow palette was worth $85, especially when people were getting it for $35 and I just couldn't. Either way, when I started to use them all together, I found that this palette was one of the most cohesive palettes for lighter skin. Now, the reason I say that is that, and if you were like a beginner to Juvia's Place or a beginner to makeup, or like you're just the average girl doing makeup, this would be a good palette because it has this shade right here. It's called Kessie, and it is like your all over lit, like, your all over crease shadow. It's going to make these blend beautifully. It has 3 mattes up here. Koji is like it's orange, but it's really pink. I love the shadow. Then you have Nana, like I call my grandma Nana, and it is just your natural kind of brown shade, a little bit orangey, like rusty. And then you have Zakia. I'm probably not going to be able to pronounce a lot of these. Zakia, which is like your really burnt orange. And then you have this blue and this dark, dark purple that I think are so pretty. They are pressed a little bit like more firmly, but if you're just using these like on the outskirts of your eyes, so pretty. Then you have all of these beautiful shimmers. And if you guys know, lately I have been really into greens. I don't think we have enough greens and blues in the makeup world. I hope we're going into a better state of mind. So you've got these two, and Buzo is what I used on my lids today. And if you'd like to see that, I have a get ready with me. I will post it right up here because it will be before this video. And then you have like, oh, this one's so pretty. Osun, such a pretty pink. Then you have Zubia, like one of the prettiest golds ever. And it's just like, oh man, this Aja, it's like a dark, dark forest green. And the only colors that I'm just like, about are Yamoja and Vey. I used to be really into silvers, but this one's kind of more, the Yamoja is kind of more like a blue silver. They're pretty, but they're just not the ones that I gravitate towards. Anyways, let's go into the swatches of this baby. I definitely would say this is the most beginner friendly one, and there are ones that are not quite as beginner friendly, and someone that's like new into makeup would probably prefer this palette as their first palette. Even the Masquerade palette, I think that you'd do better with this palette. Anyways, let's go into those swatches. Holy, a few shots later, I've been trying to find a great place in the sun for these, but this is the Magic palette. I wanted to do this outside because I think the swatches really reflect outside. So let's just go on to the swatches. The first row here, there is Nubia, Zakia, Osun, and Kessie. Kessie, there was a bug. Kessie is that really beautiful, like matte color there. Oh, between the two pinks, it is perfect. Like if you're wanting a cohesive palette, this one's gonna be good for like light to medium skin tones. So also on the next, obviously you can see how beautiful these pinks are. Oh my god. And of course, one of my favorite colors in the palette right there as the camera kind of touches it is Koji, and it is another like matte fuchsia kind of orange pink. Then they have that purple, so pretty, and some greens. I had to kind of move mid-swatch, so if you can see like the two mattes there, the purple and the blue are the least pigmented shadow I've ever had, but are still super workable. So yeah, look at those swatches. Oh, how beautiful are those? So yeah, those are the swatches for the Magic palette. They are so beautiful. This was the first palette that I got because it was just the first release I really wanted to review on my channel. And Nikki Tutorials makes these shadows look so beautiful, and they really are. The metallics in every single palette I've noticed are on the thicker side, but I did not use any water, which is normally what I use, or Fix Plus, or you know, like my Pixie Hydrating Milky Mist. I didn't use any of that for this look. So their eyeshadows will definitely 100% go on without anything. So yeah, you will get a little bit of fallout with their eyeshadows. The mattes are beautiful. I never get anything, but the shimmers, I've had, you know, flecks go on my skin before. But that is like not something that I am super worried about. Anyways, let's go on to the second palette, and I think I'm going to do these two kind of together, but as a whole, I don't know, like if you're a darker skinned girl, oh my god, like you're gonna love these freaking palettes. If you're a lighter skinned girl, this one is the Saharan by Saharan 2. Yeah, the Saharan 2. Sorry, I should show you the front. Beautiful artwork and raised lettering in gold. Very, very pretty, sturdy packaging. And this, yeah, this one is the Saharan 2. So if you're not a beginner, you're gonna need extra eyeshadows probably. You're gonna need an all over the lid color. I don't care about that. That does not bother me at all, but I do know that some people do have kind of, you know, an issue putting together looks. So if you're, you know, you're that kind of person, you may not love like these three Juvia's Place ones. The Zulu and this one are probably the hardest, and then this one is, you know, between level. Anyways, so the Saharan has all of these beautiful foiled shades, and then it has a very warm sort of, you know, mattes down here. I love their mattes, but sometimes I do need a little bit lighter of a shade to kind of, what am I trying to say? Like, they don't have a ton of light shades. They are a Black owned makeup company, so they do cater a little bit to, you know, darker skin tones, which is totally fine. I love this company. But anyway, the Saharan palette is like, I feel like it's almost the same formula. I'm not quite sure if they're all the same formula. I do have the boxes, but I have had these for quite some time. But anyway, these are so beautiful. The blues are, oh, to die for. And this color here is one of my favorites. It's called Zohara, and I used it today in this look. It's just this beautiful dark pink. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. But yeah, anyway, if you wanted this as a standalone palette, you're probably not gonna get it. But if you're looking for some beautiful, like, foiled shades, and these mattes, like, this one's a little bit cooler, this one in Fez, like, it's a tiny bit cooler, but they all run on the pretty warm side. This one in Aziza, so smooth and buttery, and I like that they put in Hadia, because it's for, you know, like, people that really don't want to venture out too far into the, like, colorful. So you've got, like, Maraska, which is an orangey, like, it's like an orangey gold. Then you have Aziza, which I use as a highlight all the time. Hadid, and then you have Nomad. Yes, Nomad. And these are all like your more wearable colors. Their foils are insane. So let's go look at those, because of course everybody wants to do that. Let's go look in the swatches for this one, and then we will talk about the Zulu palette, which I kind of bounce these together a lot of the time. But yeah, let's go look at these swatches. So the next palette we're gonna look at is the Saharan palette, or the Saharan 2, I should say. I don't think I have the Saharan palette. I'm not sure. Is this one the Saharan palette? Nope, Nubian. Anyway, this is the Saharan palette, and oh, there we go. Oh, this one's so freaking pretty. I did get a little bit of hard pan here just because I accidentally dripped some coffee on it. Oops, but it still works absolutely beautiful. I could probably scrape it off, but I just haven't, like, done that. And let's go swatch fest. Oh my lord. Look at those swatches. So the first three we have here are the Marrakesan, Aziza, and Hadia. And they are super pretty. They're like your bronzy, peachy kind of tones. But then as you go down here, you get some really cool shades. Berber, Nomad, and Ketichasun. I'll be writing these down. That one right there, this is like a duochrome. I don't know if you can notice it, but it's like a gold but a blue. So pretty. And then the three mattes you get in this palette are Faza, Zohara, and Taza. And oh my gosh, Zohara, which is right here, is like the most beautiful reddish. Oh, it's got some like red in it. It's kind of brick. It comes out on the eyes so beautifully. And I'm sorry if the other palette wasn't in the sun as much. I just realized that doing it on my left hand, I can see quite a bit better. So yeah, we're gonna do the Zulu palette as well on my hand, my left hand. So yeah, let's do that. So yeah, there it is, the Saharan palette. I love the formula of Juvia's Place shadows, but I think that their palettes, sometimes you have to mix and match and use other palettes for some shades that you're gonna need. And if you don't like doing that, well, then you're not gonna like these palettes. The Zulu palette is by far one of my favorites, and it is because it is matte central, and it is so colorful. So this one is the only one I have that doesn't have names on it, but you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 mattes and what, 3 shimmers. The shimmer here is so pretty. It's like that pinky gold colored duochrome. These two here are amazing, and I love using the brights in this palette because I feel like you don't even need too much of a transition color because you can blend them up into the crease and they really fan out beautifully. But this is definitely a palette I reach for all the time because I love these like colorful mattes. They're creamy, they're beautiful. Again, not a palette you could probably create an entire look out of because, you know, there's probably a few shades you want to go down, like you'd want to use a really light pink or a really light purple or a really light blue if that's the way you do your makeup. And like this yellow, one of the best yellows I think I have in my whole collection. Really, really beautiful. So let's go into the swatches for the Zulu palette. These are going to blow you away because this is definitely, oh, so good. All right, last palette we have here, guys, is the Zulu palette, which is by far probably one of my very favorites. Bam! And it's because it has so many freaking beautiful mattes in it. They are so freaking gorgeous and they blend so beautifully. And this is the only one I have that has no names on it. They have 3 shimmers in here and 3, 4, 5, 6 mattes. The mattes work so beautifully and they're like almost a rainbow of mattes. You have this orange and this yellow, then they put one kind of chocolatey brown in it. Then you have this beautiful turquoise. Like, look at the pigment on that right there. Look at the pigment. Then you also have these 3 shimmers. The pink is one of my favorites. And then you have a pink and a purple matte. These blend so beautifully, guys. And look at the shimmers. These are a little bit of a thicker formula, but I'm sure I've already talked about that. All right, guys, let's go. All right, so the next one we're going to talk about is the Masquerade palette. This is the one that did it all, I think. And it has this like pretty artwork on the front, and I'm going to show you again when we do the swatches, like I have been. And this palette, of course, has names on it, and it is a very like mix. It has a ton of colorful shades and then a bunch of neutrals. And the only problem I have here is that I feel like there are too many shimmers in this palette. This whole top row is shimmers. This one, this one, this one. This one is kind of a matte with some glitter in it, and I really do love putting this in the crease because the glitter doesn't show up that much. Like, oh, such a beautiful pink. But yeah, and I do love this one as well. It's Caro. It is a matte with glitter as well. And I do love this palette. Oh, these ones, Giza and Dahia. So good for like brow bone, if you really like a shimmery brow bone inner corner on the lid, and you know, you could pop these 2 mattes in there. They did do a bit of cool and a bit of warm. You've got Ada and Zulu are your warmer colors, and then Burkina and Faluni, which are these 2, are your cooler colors. And the shimmers are beautiful in here. Like this one, Calabra. Oh, I love this one. It's so, so pretty. So if you're looking for a palette that you can create more looks out of, you could probably do it with this one, especially because they gave you Zoba as a purple matte, so you could work it in with the blues or the purples or the pink. And then they give you this whole beautiful neutral row. It's not that I don't love this palette. I just sometimes I'm like, because I'm shying more and more away from neutrals. I really am. I just don't find them as exciting as I used to. So these more colorful shades just, oh, excite me. But again, with this one, you're going to need like an all over shade, which you could just use your powder if you wanted to. Not a big deal. But as a beginner, you may have some like technical issues trying to figure out what you're going to do with this. But again, beautiful freaking palette, and even her mini is absolutely huge. So I don't think you'll have any problems with the amount of product in these. So let's go on and do the swatches for the Masquerade palette, even though I think those are like the most spread upon swatches that are in the makeup world. But yeah, let's go into that. All right, well, second time's a charm, I guess. This is the second time I will do this. This is the Masquerade Mini by Juvia's Place. This is like the one that started them all. And if you're looking for like beautiful blues and like some purples, this is probably going to be the palette for you. There's also also some really pretty neutrals, but let's just go in and look at the swatches. So the first row are your beautiful blues, and I should open it to see the names. And they are Chi, Mali, Dahlia, and Zola. Like, these are some beautiful blues. I'm trying to not get the camera in the sun. Let's just turn it. There we go. These are gorgeous. They go on the eyes gorgeous. You don't even need a primer under them. If you wet them and put them on the eye, they stay on forever. They're so beautiful. And then you have the kind of more purpley row with Makita, Zobo, Calabra, and Bori. Bori is a matte. It's like a neon pink, but it has some gold flecks in it. I can't get them to show up. It's lovely on the crease, but I just can't get it to show up with that like shimmery fleck in it. Then you have your neutrals, and let's just back up a little bit so you can check them out. As you can see, they're beautiful. So you have Giza, Burkina, Cario, and Ada. Oh, let's just, there you go. Working outside, of course, because I wanted you to be able to see how beautiful these are. And then you have Dania, Zulu, Castellans, and Fulani, I think. And those are just, and I'm going to just pan back to the palette so you can see it better. These two always caught my eye. Like, honestly, like, look at how beautiful they are. I hope my camera's picking this up. I couldn't use my phone, which I thought was a little bit better, but maybe not. I'm not sure. So yeah, those are the swatches for the Masquerade palette. Last but not least, we have probably one of my least favorite palettes, but still a good palette. This is the Nubian 2. Another beautiful artwork, of course. And then this is what you get in this palette. So you get 4 mattes, and the rest are shimmers. Again, not a ton of mattes, and the mattes that they give you, I feel like I just would have to go neutral. When I wear this, I feel like I'm picking it up and I'm like, okay, we're gonna go for like a bronzy, neutral type of look today. I think they put a little too many golds in here. Like, they have this gold, which is Zerobi, and then Nefertiti is also like a orangey gold. Then for bronze, you have Ya and Serba. And then the only color that really kills me, and I love it, is Egypt. It's the most beautiful green again, and I do like Cleopatra as well. It's really pretty, but definitely favorite color is Egypt. I think that you could easily pull off lots of neutral looks with this, with like a pop of color. So if you're into that, like neutral with a pop of green or a pop of, you know, blue, they have this pretty color here, which is almost, it's like a red brown color in Jezebel. I was gonna say Jezebel, and that's what my puppy used to call me because I wore a lot of makeup. But anyway, they have this pretty color in Jezebel, so you don't always have to go for like a neutral eye look. But like, let's see here. I don't think I even used Sheba because I'm just not into neutrals that much. I don't think I'm a neutral girl. But it's so pretty and smooth, and since I've tried like 90% of, well, I wouldn't say 90%, I'd say like I've probably done 75% of her palettes. I don't have the Dulce palette, and I don't have the Festival palette, and I don't have her like 1 or 2 palettes before this one, the really neutral ones. Yeah, I don't have those. But I've tried Juvia's Place pretty through and through. So let's go on to the swatches of this palette because they are very beautiful. I will not give that to her. Or no, I'll give that to her. So the next palette we have here is the Nubian 2 palette. This one is probably my least favorite out of all of them, only because so many neutrals. But there are some beautiful colors in here. I am telling you that much. Let's look at the swatches. So let's get some, there we go. So we have Morocco, Madagascar, Sheba, and yeah, right there. And those are your like matte shades. This one right here in Madagascar is so freaking pretty. It is like the weirdest matte. It's almost a yellowy brown color. Really interesting. And then you get to even more interesting. Jezebel is that beautiful matte shade right there, and so pretty, so blendable. Then you have Zuri, Cleopatra, and Nefertiti. Cleopatra is the blue one, and Nefertiti is that orangey one. And then you have like your inner corner highlight or whatever. And then you go over to the last row, which is Nairobi, Lila, Kenya, and Egypt. And oh my gosh, Egypt is freaking amazing. I'm gonna try and like get a better shot of it. It's kind of a lighter but darker blue shade. So freaking pretty. Like, guys, these palettes are to freaking die for. Alright guys, so that is the last swatch. I hope I gave enough information. I think that the mattes blend really well. I think that they're pigmented. I think that they're well worth your money, especially if you live in the USA. And I wouldn't, like, the bigger palettes were a flop. I think they definitely should, you know, size down them, because not everybody wants like a more than a toonie sized pan of eyeshadow. But I have traveled with this. It was good, no problems there, and all that good stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to think, what do I want to talk about? I think I talked about everything, which was pretty good. If I can't think of anything else, make sure you put it down in the comments below. I'm trying to be making my reviews a little bit more thorough, especially if I'm doing like a one product review. This one's a little bit more broad because I think most people want to see the swatches, and I think that most people have heard what the Juvia's Place shadows are like. So swatches of just most of them all together might be helpful to you guys. But yeah, I really love that you guys are watching my videos, and I'm just kind of looking over the palettes. This one I definitely wish I had given a little bit more love. Maybe I'll put this in my Shop My Stash this week. Also, yes, I do a Shop My Stash every single week. I never miss Shop My Stash. So make sure you subscribe, and you can go back and watch last week's Shop My Stash, which included all of these palettes. And you can go on my Instagram. I do a look every single day, and you know, I just comment about things that I am reviewing. And yeah, so if you want any other background information, a lot of it could be on Instagram, or just comment down below. Click the thumbs up. Click the thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and have a really wonderful day, night, evening, whatever. Mwah. I love you guys. Bye.